Sony X950G is definitely a premium TV, but Sony considers it more of a mid-range model, because models like the Sony Master Series A9 have cost more, when comparing similar sizes. Nonetheless, this TV goes head-to-head with top models from Samsung, and it offers strong performance for both the size and price. The X950G model line offers 4 screen sizes, ranging from 55 inches up to 85 inches and delivering some of the largest screens on the market. Most shoppers will be best served by a 55 or 65-inch TV, but if you've got the room and the budget for the X950G, you'll get excellent performance and features for larger than average screen sizes. While Sony doesn't openly share the number of backlighting zones used in its TVs, the X950G does offer a full array LED backlight and local dimming. And it's likely that the number of dimming zones will vary from one screen size to the next. More notably, the larger 75 and 85-inch models utilize Sony's X-wide-angle technology to provide wider viewing angles. The 55 and 65-inch models do not use this tech, and some customers have complained about narrow viewing angles on those sets. That said, whatever technology the X-wide-angle uses to improve off-center viewing, also seems to reduce contrast. Design. Sony's TVs are almost always sleek and elegant, but the X950G manages to add extra panache. When viewing from the front, you'll see that the TV's nearly bezel-less design has metallic borders, and a wide chin below the screen, with the same metal finish in a different shade. This gives the TV a nice two-tone look. The back side is made of black plastic, with a textured surface and matte finish. Matching this look are 2 attached stand feet, which also are metal, with a dark, brushed finish. This included stand uses 2 L-shaped feet, and while some wobble is inevitable on the bigger models, the stand provides a fairly sturdy base. The stand also has built-in cable management, helping you keep the snarl of cables behind the TV to a minimum. The feet point out at an angle, requiring a sizable footprint if you choose to set the TV up on a table or a shelf. If, however, you want to hang the X950G on a wall, you can do so with a VESA mount. Getting the setup onto the wall will be a 2 or 3 person job though. Ports. The X950G is outfitted with a healthy number of ports, divided between a pair of side-facing and downward-facing input panels. You'll find plenty of inputs, with 4 HDMI ports, 3 USB connections, an RF connector for antenna, and a composite video input. All 4 HDMI ports on the X950G are compliant with full bandwidth HDMI 2.0. One of the HDMI ports is also equipped with enhanced audio return channel, a newer form of ARC that has started showing up on TVs only this year. The EARC standard adds an additional data channel, which provides support for 5.1 surround sound and lossless formats, giving you better audio in addition to a cleaner cable situation. For network connectivity, the X950G is equipped with a wired LAN port and built-in Wi-Fi, along with Bluetooth 4.2 for connecting wireless headphones or speakers. A built-in Google Chromecast also lets you share apps and media from your mobile device. Performance. The X950G's panel offers some of Sony's best picture technologies, from the X1 Ultimate Picture Processor, to a dedicated Netflix-calibrated mode to make your Netflix streaming look its best. The whole thing delivers a pretty great picture, with a performance to match the price. From my viewing of single-color test screens, it was clear that the display has a very good full-array backlight. Overall, backlighting appeared very consistent, but I was disappointed to see some pretty distinct shadowing in the corners of the screen. This is a common flaw on most LCD TVs, but the shadowing was particularly noticeable with this set, especially when viewed against bright backgrounds such as a blue sky. The full-array local dimming backlight also delivered strong high dynamic range performance, with support for not only HDR 10 and Dolby Vision, but also the newer IMAX enhanced format. But while the TV did display bright highlights and good visibility in shadowed scenes, the black levels weren't as deep and rich as we might have liked. A much more significant issue was backlight precision, or the lack thereof. Despite the set's local dimming, brightly lit objects shown against darker backgrounds appeared surrounded by a haze of unwanted light, with backlight spilling out into portions of the screen that should remain dark. Overall, color quality is very good, thanks to the TV's 10-bit color support, especially when dealing with similar shades of color. While many TVs struggle with distinctions between similar colors, such as shades of red and shades of blue, the X950G displays different tones that are distinct and clear, without blending into each other. Gaming. The X950G offers full range of support for 4K gaming, and our Xbox One X showed compatibility with several refresh rates, 10-bit color, and both HDR10 and Dolby Vision formats for streaming content. In games, the Sony will support 4K gaming at 60 Hz, with HDR10 support, making this one of the best TVs for gaming. In game mode, the X950G had lag times averaging 22.4 milliseconds, which is great. Audio. The X950G includes Sony's acoustic multi-audio technology, which attempts to replicate the sound experience offered by the A9F. Because an LCD display uses several layers in the display, there's no way of using the screen's glass as the vibrational surface of the speaker. To approximate this experience on the X950G, Sony has added a pair of directional tweeters situated behind the upper portion of the display. The bigger problems, however, are the overall weakness of the volume and the less powerful bass. Without the beefy subwoofer of the A9F, the bass levels are only okay. The overall volume is a bit weak, and you'll need to dial it up considerably in all but the quietest environments. While the acoustic multi-audio is a nice touch, we still recommend getting a soundbar to go with the TV to improve volume and bass. We suggest a Dolby Atmos compatible model. Since the X950G offers Atmos support but doesn't have Atmos-capable speakers built in, a soundbar is the easiest way to get the full sound experience offered by the TV. Remote control? I've spent at least a couple of years grumbling about Sony's remote controls. The layout always felt cluttered, while the navigation wasn't as intuitive as what competitors offered. I am very pleased to say that the remote included with the X950G is significantly better. The overall aesthetics are drastically improved, with a slimmer design, a metal faceplate, and smaller round buttons. At the top of the remote, looking vaguely like a button, sits a circular spot, which indicates the location of the built-in microphone. It's also narrower overall, making it more comfortable to hold than the squared-off designs used by Sony in years past. Between the sleek new design and the ample functionality, this is the best remote Sony has ever offered with its smart TVs. Smart features. Android TV 8 gets a simpler interface, with accessible icons for changing inputs and accessing settings at the top of the screen. And primary apps each get a dedicated row of content recommendations. This makes for a nice balance between content discovery and clean design, and it means the Android experience is much more enjoyable than in years past. The performance is also better. In our time with the X950G, we saw none of the hanging or slowed performance that plagued older versions of the platform. Everything was fairly quick and responsive. There are also two key features built into the Android TV experience worth highlighting. The first is the Google Chromecast integrated into the TV. Without an extra dongle, you can share movies, videos or apps from your mobile device, and even just mirror your screen onto the TV. The X950G also has Google Assistant voice control, which effectively makes the TV a functional Google Home replacement, so you can not only find shows to watch by voice, but also use spoken commands to control connected home devices, and perform tasks like ordering coffee or pizza. You can do all this through the mic built into the remote control. You can also enable the TV's built-in far-field microphones, allowing you to simply speak to the room and have the TV listen and respond. If you prefer your existing smart speaker, you can pair your Google or Amazon device to the TV. Verdict. With the solid picture and audio performance, the refinements to the Android experience and remote control, and a wealth of features, the X950G is simply a really good smart TV. If you want a great smart TV with a great, big screen, the X950G should definitely be on your list of models to consider.